Hi everybody, I'm Julian.
I'm Casey.
McClurkin, and today we're doing a video on how we met.
You see, we have two different stories already.
But I have the better story. You want to go first?
No, you can go first. We get all the fabrication out of the way.
Cool. So Casey and I met in Columbus, Ohio, where we were born and raised. And actually, we went to the same middle school, didn't even know it. Casey had been involved in Girl Scouts growing up. So when she was an adult, a full-grown adult, she ended up being a Girl Scout leader at a church that my niece went to the Girl Scout club for. I don't even know what they're called. So anyway, I went to drop Madison, my niece, this is Madison. I dropped her off at Girl Scouts and Casey was there, but I didn't see Casey, but she saw me. She saw how beautiful I was and handsome, and here I come. I really didn't want to even do it that night. My sister-in-law asked me to drop off Maddie, so I took her there. I was tired, I was sweaty, I just got done playing basketball. And Casey, obviously I was handsome enough for her to notice. So she saw me walk in there, and then I left. I didn't even talk to Casey. I ended up later on that day hearing about some girl who saw me at Girl Scouts and was like, he's handsome. I just met my husband. I was like, who is this person that is talking about me like this? So Anthea, my sister-in-law, told me Casey went home to her mom and said that she met her husband today, but didn't even talk to me. I said, who is Casey? I looked her up online, saw her Facebook account, and I saw she was really pretty. And I wanted to get to know her. So I looked a little further and I saw that she was getting her master's in divinity. So that let me know one very important thing that I was looking for at that time. It meant that she took her spirituality very seriously. So I reached out to her on Facebook, asked if we could, start talking, and I called her one day and she didn't like me. We talked for like 30 minutes and Casey, I don't know if she was playing hardball at the time or what, but I was giving her all my best moves, everything I got. At the same time, I was kind of being a little bit of a jerk too, because I was asking her what her beliefs were in God, because I was in a place in my life where I knew who God was to me and I needed somebody to also know who God is. I would ask her stuff like, you believe in the Trinity, you believe in speaking in tongues, the Holy Spirit, the baptism, what do you believe about Jesus? And like, that's not really great first contact talk when you're trying to get to know somebody, but that's what I wanted to know. I care less what your favorite color is. So at the end of the conversation, it was probably like 30 minutes, I was like, well, I know I blew this. So I hit her with my best line. My best line at that time, because this was before I became a professional basketball player playing overseas and across the world. I said, I'm a globetrotter, right? And Casey goes, who are they? I was like, I blew it. I don't got nothing left. I used all my ammunition. I emptied the full clip and she didn't like me. So I thought I'd never talk to her again, but lo and behold, all those spiritual questions we were talking about earlier, I think really stirred her curiosity, and we ended up talking again and again and again. And then next thing you know, Casey shows up at Bible study. She starts to learn more about what type of person I am, because at my church it's like a family and everybody there has known me since I was a kid. So, she kind of really got to know me through going to church, all while I was away playing basketball. And then eventually, one thing led to another, we got married. I skipped a lot of stuff. That is the story of how we met.
You also skipped a lot of facts.
Nah.
Like, how do you continue to tell that story?
That's exactly how I tell it, and it kills everywhere I go.
It kills, but it's not true.
That's how it is. That's how it happened.
So it is true that we met here in Columbus. It's true that we went to middle school together and did not know each other. He was 2 years ahead of me, so 8th graders don't really talk to 6th graders. It's true that our niece Madison was in my Girl Scout troop at the time, and I was there. I think we had like monthly meetings or something like that. We were waiting for people to arrive so we could get started with whatever we had on the agenda for that evening. I was still getting to know some of the troop members, little girls, different personalities, but Madison always stuck out. She just was one of those kids, you just don't forget a child like that. I think she always used to come with her grandmother, who was one of the other troop leaders, but this time Guy dropped her off, so I thought, oh, maybe this is Madison's dad? I don't know, young father taking his daughter to Girl Scouts. Who knows? I remember he had on black and red, like something athletic, like you were about to go play basketball. And he came in, he dropped Madison off. We already have like stuff set up on the table where we were meeting just to keep the girls occupied. He knew Madison's grandmother on her mom's side, not her dad's side, because that would be his mom too. And they struck up a conversation, and I'm one of those people, I'm probably listening to what you're saying, but I'm not looking at you, but I am overhearing you all the time. And so I heard him talking about playing basketball. I'm pretty sure I remember something about Globetrotter something, or some conversation around like finally making it and what was your name gonna be kind of thing. And so I kind of put two and two together. So they finished talking, he left. Madison's mom ended up picking her up. So I didn't see him again that day. So when I got home, it is true, I texted my best friend Brittany, and I literally said I met my dreamboat of a man and inserted like ship emojis. I also told my mom, oh my gosh, Mom, I met this guy. I wasn't like,
Mom, I have met him. I saw him. My prayers have been answered.
it was kind of like jokingly, but I did say that, and it's true, and I ended up being right, so I'm not ashamed to say it.
Spirit knows all things.
And then my mom told me, because she also knows Madison's grandmother, she said something like, Tracy wants to know if she can give Julian your phone number. And so I was thinking maybe he noticed me, because I don't remember talking to him.
Really? I didn't know you thought I noticed you first.
Because I didn't tell anyone at Girl Scouts, oh my gosh, he's cute, he's nice. No. When you left, Madison's grandmother said, Casey, what did you think of him? Or something along the lines of like, what if I put in a word for you? I'm like, well, that's fine. I wasn't one to really be pursuing men like that.
She was playing matchmaker.
So yeah, so she must have gone back to you and said, oh, Casey thought you were this and that. I didn't say all that to her. My mom came to me later. Sorry, I just touched that a lot. My mom came to me later and said, oh, that young man would like to talk to you. And I was not for getting set up at all. I was not about blind dates. Don't try to introduce me to your friend, your son, your grandson, your nephew, your neighbor. I was not for it. I was like, I'm just gonna meet this person that I'm gonna marry and spend my life with, and that's how it's gonna go. So
same.
I don't know if it was the same day or a few days later. I told my mom, yeah, Tracy can give him my phone number, it's fine. I remember it was a Sunday after I got a text message that said, hey, from an unknown number. And I was like, oh, okay, hey, this is how we're starting. I was like, this is not good. And then quickly,
what's wrong with hey? It's an icebreaker.
We're like 25, you were probably 27 years old at the time.
You didn't say hey at that time?
The first time you meet a young lady that you're interested in, you say, hey.
Oh, I should have said.
How about, hello, Casey, this is Julian. It didn't even say anything. Not even a minute later, the next message was, hi, Casey, this is Julian. I'm sorry, my niece sent that message early by mistake.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And then it was like, would you like to talk sometime on the phone? The next message was like what you would expect when you're 25, 26 years old, looking for a mate. Not, hey. not even, hey, girl. Just hey.
You know what probably happened now that I'm thinking back? Maddie was talking about you, and she was telling me I needed to reach out to you because you're awesome.
Maddie is like 7 at the time.
And I love my niece. I love my nieces, so I do.
Might have even been 6.
I do what they say. And so she probably grabbed my phone, start texting you, and she hit send just real quick. And I was like, no, that's not how I want to break the ice. Mm-hmm. So I do remember that now, but I don't mind saying hey to people. I can care less. Let's say hey. But that one, I can tell I wanted to be more serious about. That's interesting. I'm hearing new parts of this story now that I didn't know.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm not into people setting me up either. Like, honestly, if I would have known it was a setup at first, I probably wouldn't have been as interested up front.
Well, I knew it was, and it made me skeptical because I thought, because the last person someone tried to set me up with, oh, it was just a disaster. And I had a hard time letting that brother know, like, it's just not happening for me. Like, it's just not. So anyway, we have a conversation on the phone, and I do remember him asking me like some very, maybe what some people would consider personal questions, but it didn't put me off because I was very tired of,
do you like fades or braids? Do you like braids or dreads? Do you like jerseys or polo shirts?
Like, can we have a real conversation? Stop asking me about like what I find physically attractive or things I haven't done of a physical nature. Like, can we get to know each other instead of trading stories? But that's how we met.
All right.
And I think you can tell by the sheer amount of detail I'm giving that my story is more accurate. You said yourself you didn't know some of those things.
But if we just go back and think, like, what is the difference between yours and mine? Just the fact that you got more details. Everything I said was true and happened.
You're like every man. You want to paint this picture of you met your wife and she was just like falling over you like, baby, I've been looking for you. I've been waiting for you. And that's not how it went down.
You told the woman I met my husband. That's what you told him.
There's nothing, I wasn't wrong.
Neither am I.
I didn't tell you, and I certainly didn't show it because, you know, you don't lay out all your cards. I just think for young women, this is how I was advised and it worked out for me. You don't just put your heart on the table the first time you meet someone. You get to know someone and not that you hold back, you're still honest about what you think and what you feel. If I had hit you with, I'm ready to marry you, you're the one I've been looking for. Exactly, So you need to take time and make sure what you're thinking and or feeling is valid.
Mm-hmm. That was a smart move on your part because, I would have dipped out. But I also think that, up to that point in my life, I hadn't really had women falling over me anyway. Mm-hmm. But I also wasn't used to giving so much attention and not getting nothing back. Like, I was like, wow, maybe I am whack.
And that's where I came from is I have, in past relationships, I put a lot of energy and attention into people who did not reciprocate it. And so I left feeling like brokenhearted and rejected a lot because I felt like I'm putting myself out there. Mm-hmm. I wasn't afraid to call or text somebody, and when you just are like getting ignored, it was kind of hard to take a hint. So I did things differently this time.
All right, so let's put a bow on this. That is a story of how we met. Now, in other videos, we're going to give you more information, like some dating advice for somebody you're looking at maybe marrying one day.
Or maybe you're not dating right now, but you're looking to get back out there and take things more seriously this time.
Just stay tuned to the channel and we will see you on the next video. Again, my name is Julian.
And I'm Casey.
McClurkin. Click right here to subscribe to our channel. And click right here to see more videos just like this. Because she ain't going to remember what to tell you.